Hello, everyone. I hope I am audible and I'm visible also. Okay, we have Vishal with us. Hey, Vishal, how is it going?
Yeah, hi, good evening. Hi, Sanjay.
How are you?
Good, yeah, good.
Awesome, Vishal. So, we are going to give everyone a bit of time so that everyone joins in.
Sure.
Okay, we already have a few people join the call, but let's give them another couple of minutes so that nobody misses anything. By the way, how it's going? How are things happening there?
Everything is fine, Sanjay. It's good.
Awesome.
The weather is changing these days, so
Okay, Vishal, I think we are already past 2 minutes four, and I think we can start up. Meanwhile, people will join in. So, hello everyone, I'm Sanchit and I'm your host for the day. And today we are going to discuss a bunch of things that is eventually going to help you land a better job. And the major agenda of the today's session is basically how one can actually craft their resume. And when I say crafting a resume, is because making a resume is definitely an art because you have to tone it up, you have to tell your skills, you have to map it up to another other companies present over here. So it's a skill which is learned, and by practicing you can achieve it. So for to discuss all these things, we have Vishal with us today, and Vishal has pretty much mastered all these stuffs. He's a lead recruiter and a resume writer from past many years. Professionally, he's a talent management professional with an extensive experience in hiring and recruiting people, and he has helped tons of students out there. So I'm very honored to have you, Vishal, here with us. Vishal, you're on mute, I guess.
yeah. Thank you so much, Sanjay, for introducing.
Yeah.
So,
So, yeah, go ahead. I would
okay,
like you to introduce yourself better so that people will know about the impact you have
definitely,
created and the people you have helped.
definitely. So, I would request each and everybody to just mute their mic so that the one who have the question or who want to say something, he can unmute. Otherwise, it will make a a noise or distortion for each and everybody in the group. So myself, Vishal Goyal, I'm basically belongs to Punjab, and I have done BTech in electronics and communication. Post that, I have done a executive course from Accelerate Jamshedpur in talent management. So in 2014, I started my career with the executive talent acquisition role with India's largest textile manufacturing organization, Trident Limited. And post that, having a 4.5 years of experience with the same organization, I changed there from to a recruitment consultancy. So right now I'm working with a recruitment consultancy which is based out of Ludhiana in Punjab, and we have very good clientele. We are currently hiring for various services and manufacturing organization, including the IT and other. So major clientels are Amazon, L&T, Reliance, then the Technosers. There's a many other main leading organizations in India, including Genpact and everything. So today we are together on a discussion of the CV building or the CV drafting. So basically, more these days. We do apply to the multiple opportunities, hundreds of opportunities we do apply, but the chances that we get shortlisted to against a few of them, and then it's hard to crack the interviews these days because the number of applicants who are in the pool are bigger, and they are increasing day by day, right? So earlier, in case someone was some organization was having opening for Java developer, let's suppose, and there were applicants, who applied to that opportunity at 10 or maybe 8 or 10, students or candidates, those applied to that opportunity. But these days, you can see that in case there is a opening for a very junior role also, for that role also there are hundreds or thousands of applications coming for a single vacancy, right? So it become very difficult these days to get shortlisted for an position, and then to crack the interview and everything, and the finally joining part. So it's very hard these days. And the major key thing that takes place is a resume, because the once your CV gets shortlisted, then only the complete process will run. And in case your CV is not shortlisted in the initial screening round or the shortlisting round, then there is no point of application submission or anything, right? So today we are together we are discussing on how to create better some I can discuss some improvements. Basically the format you already know. What is the format? Everyone is graduate, and everyone have his or her CV along with her or him. So we know the basic format, but a few improvements that we are going to discuss today, so that we can update or improvise our resume accordingly to the insider. You can say, since I'm working in a talent acquisition team from last 6 years, so I can give you some tips and tricks so that you can get shortlisted for as many as of things you can. So that is the basic agenda of our today's discussion, right? So without wasting any further time, I will be starting. So Sanchit, we have a time from 4 to 5 today.
Yeah, yes, Vishal, that's correct.
Okay, and how much is the for the question answer round?
Well, that depends. You can easily take up to 30-40 minutes, not an issue.
Okay, great. Because we will be having more of a question answer round, because that round
Correct.
will clear, more and more queries and doubts of each and everybody, so that we should all be on the same page at the end of the
Absolutely
discussion,
right.
right?
Absolutely right. Okay, Vishal, but before you jump off, I would just like to tell everyone that we also have a giveaway involved with this particular uh, session that we are doing today. And the giveaway is that we have prepared a curated list of GD and PI tips that will eventually help you grab a role and basically, crack these GDPI interviews along with the resume template that we are going to flow off about how you can actually fit in your information and make a nice resume out of it. So that is the two giveaways we are doing today. Yeah. So
Okay.
yeah, Vishal, now
So,
you can start.
Sanchit, I have few documents also. I have
Sure.
a PDF which is which is having 50 standard questions that have been asked from any HR interviewer or any the key interviewer during the interview and everything. So I will
Okay.
share across. Just let me know that how to share this in the group. I will share accordingly, right?
Yeah.
And apart from that, I have a sample cover letters also. So basically, these days the cover letters are not so important, but sometimes there are requirement from the specific organizations or the specific recruiter that they need the cover letter also along with the CV, just to be present to the interviewer or panel members. So I will share the cover letters format
Awesome.
also.
Awesome. That would be great.
And then I have prepared a mail, writing, how to write a better mail while applying for any opportunity. So these days the majorly so okay, so let's hope we are starting only, right? So okay, so let's suppose that I'm a recruiter, I have a position, right? And I have various channels. So first of all, we have to understand the channels from which a recruiter is hiring, right? So that you should be available on each and every channel from which the recruiters of any company are hiring, right? So first of all, it's Naukri. Second one is LinkedIn. Then Indeed are various job portals. Then the direct application is there, and then the company's career portal is there, right? So basically, for a candidate, majorly there are two sources. One is direct application, and second one is direct application or referral, you can say that. And second one is submitting my on CV or details on a portal. That can be a job portal, that can be a career portal, that can be a third party portal, anything, right? So once we are submitting application directly to a company recruiter, then we do we have to create a mail, a professional, a nice mail, so that the recruiter who is getting hundreds of mails on a daily basis, he should review our mail, and then accordingly he should view our CV at least. Shortlisting or not shortlisting is a different part, but he should review our application for that opening. Okay. I have shared my screen. Are you guys are able to see that?
Not yet, Vishal.
Just hold on. Okay, are you able to see my screen?
Yes, we can.
You can, right? Okay. So I have prepared a small PPT. Just I was having some other stuff also. So that is not completed yet, but just hold on. You guys are able to see my screen, right?
Yes, Vishal, we can see.
Okay, great. Okay. Okay. So I have created a small PPT, guys, just to avoid any sort of time wastage or any sort of basic queries with regards to each and anything, right? So first of all, we have to understand that why employers are hiring, why hiring takes place. So majorly there are two basic rules. One is that any organization who wants to solve a problem, he will look for any niche skill, or he will look for any specific uh, person who is relevant to a job description, right? And accordingly to that job description, they will hire to solve a problem, right? And the thing is to capitalize on an opportunity. So you can say a marketing people, you can say any HR people, or any sport people, right? Who any organization is hiring just to uh, make more out of them, or a combination of both, right? So first of all, the major thing I have prepared this slide, that is that you have to understand what is the basic requirement of an organization, or what is the basic necessity of an organization for which they are hiring, and you have to create your CV, or you have to create the cover letter, or you have to create the mail communication accordingly, so that it should suffice the key requirement of an organization, so that they should shortlist your CV, or they should review your CV, or they should feel that the CV is relevant to what we are looking at, right? So first of all, while you are applying to an opportunity, just make sure that you read out the job description that has been given by any of the employer on any job portal or any career portal very carefully, to understand what exactly they are looking at. Okay. Okay, so basically there are two things. One is job and other one is career. Job, you can say that anybody who is doing anything in exchange of payment, that is a job. And career is something that I want to do something in next 5 years, or I want to achieve this thing in the next 10 years. That's where the career comes into the picture, right? So we can say that while once we you can say that once we passed out from college or passed out from any institute, majorly 60% of the students, they are not very confident that what exactly they want to do, right? So they start their career in any of the opportunity, any of the organization, and suddenly continuously they start feeling that what, in which area or in which domain or in which vertical they have an interest, then they will pursue their efforts accordingly, right? So let's suppose I have done a bachelor in electronics and communication, right? in 2013, and then in 2014 I joined in the HR department. I have nothing to do with the HR. So in the Trident, they have a assessment development center. That was a 2-day process with the hiring partners as a E&Y. So they recommend my profile in talent and HR department according to the skills I have, right? And on the basis of the skills I have, the Trident HR team, they assign me into the talent acquisition team. So once I been to talent acquisition, then I start enjoying that part. Then I prepared for some exams, and then I done the talent management executive program from XLR Jamshedpur. Because my so you should be clear about what exactly you want to do and how exactly you are gonna do that, right? Then accordingly you have to apply for the opportunities, or you have to apply for the positions that are available in the market, right? It shouldn't be like that you see some opportunities and then you start applying 50 opportunities per day, multiple opportunities, you are applying to multiple opportunities on a daily basis. It shouldn't be like that. In case you are looking for a job, then it's okay. In case you are looking for a career, then it's not okay. You have to search the market, you have to search the roles available, then accordingly you have to you know look for something which will help you in your career. That's how it is. Okay. So we all know what is the difference between a CV and a resume. CV is 2 to 4 pages. Majorly these days the IT people who have to mention their projects throughout from their career and experience. So they do have the CV which is more than 2 pages, three, four, five, six, eight, on the basis of the number of projects they have done. And a resume is something that we recommend, because these days I will simply say that there is nobody in the HR, or there is no panel member who is open to read 3 4 pages of uh, resume, right? So all are preferring 1 page or maximum to maximum 2 pages of CV. Okay, so we should try that. We should incorporate each and everything, starting from the education, then the experience, and everything into a 1 page. In case 1 page is not sufficient, we should go for a second page, right? Okay, so basically, I'm just going through all this stuff, right? And then let's suppose 4:30 or 4:40 onwards, we will having a question answer round. And then, in case anyone have any sort of question or any sort of query, any sort of doubt, he or she can directly ask. As of now, for the 10 15 minutes, I'm just going, completely just go through the. I will go through all the basic things that should be consider while updating a CV or while creating a CV, right? So why resume and CVs are important? So basically, it's a first impression. The interviewer or the panel member or the recruiter, they are gonna judge you from your CV only. So it should be neat and clean. And so I have mentioned in the agenda also that there's a 30 seconds test. Basically, I have reviewed, I would say, thousand or more than thousands of CVs. And for the initial 10 to 20 seconds or 30 seconds, we review. And in case we do not feel that it is not as per our requirement, we just go on, right? So your CV should be in the first 30 seconds, you can imagine that what exactly I can review. I can review just the the first page of your CV, and that to the upper side of your page. Basically, the career summary, you can say that, or basically the career objective, you can say that. On the basis of your career objective or on the basis of your career summary, I will decide that I'm gonna review that CV completely, or it's not as per my requirement. I will go on to the next CV. Okay, so that is the major funda that I have mentioned for passing through the 30-second screening test your career objective or your career summary. In case someone is experienced, then he would mention a career summary of maybe 4, 5, 6 lines. It should be very, very concrete that any recruiter who is reviewing and who is reading that career summary, he will gonna shortlist you or he will gonna review your complete CV. That is our first test. That is our first impression. Okay. Okay. So before creating a CV or before applying, okay. So these days, what exactly happens is people use the people everyone create a CV at an initial stage, and sometimes they do update their CV before applying to any opportunity on the basis of the requirement that has been raised by the company, or sometimes people do create multiple CVs. Right. So people do create multiple CVs so that they can apply one CV to a specific patient and the other CV to a specific patient. Let's suppose in a HR there are two roles. One is for the talent acquisition, and other is one for the HR generalist. Right. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna create two CVs. One is completely into the talent acquisition, which will show my experience into the talent acquisition, and I will create another CV which will show my experience into the HR generalist. Okay. So for opening, which is for a HR generalist, I will directly submit my HR generalist CV, and for the opening in talent acquisition, I will directly submit my talent acquisition CV. Okay, because that both I have created with a view that I will submit the CVs according to the requirements I have received from the various portals or various organizations. Okay, your resume is your selling tool. So whatever you are mentioning in your CV, may it be the experience, may it be the objective, may it be the roles and responsibilities that you are doing in your current organization. They both are the selling tools, right? Sanchit, my voice is audible,
Yes, yes, Vishal, it is also audible.
and
Uh, Someone is saying actually there is some background noise. I don't know whether it's coming from your network or maybe from your earphones. I don't know. So maybe
so
if you can check it out, like if possible.
okay, everything is fine. Is it coming now?
Yeah, it is actually better.
It's better.
Yeah.
And are you able to view my screen?
Yes, yes, everything is fine.
Everything is fine. Great. Okay. So we have already discussed that how are you gonna pass a 30-second test, because that will completely depend upon your career summary and the career objective. Career objective for the freshers are with the experience of 1 or 2 years, and career summary is for the experience which are having 5+ years of experience or 4+ years of experience, who have something to mention in the career summary. Okay. Okay. So, what is the best way to create a CV? The best way is to create a CV or tailored according to the employer's requirement for an opportunity, right? So, let's suppose there is a person into the operation in some part of let's suppose designing, right? So then he should create his CV according to the opportunity for which he or she is applying to, right? That is the best way to submit a CV. You don't have to do a lot of changes. There's one thing that you don't have to mention fake things, right? Absolutely, you do not have to mention fake things, but you can tailor your CV accordingly to the opportunity you are applying to, because that will maximize your chances of getting shortlisted. Okay. Okay. And the another thing is that you have to know who exactly is gonna review your CV, right? So for the same, you should review the company website. You should know what exactly the company is doing, for which you are applying into, right? And then accordingly, you can mention some key things in your CV, just like any team management experience or any leadership experience or any sort of specific experience that you want to mention, because that will give you an edge to the other candidates. Okay, so these are the major you can say headings, right? So at initial, people will gonna mention the name and contact. Okay, so something like that. You can start with a name on the upper side, then the address or email ID number. You can also mention your LinkedIn uh, link. You can also mention your date of birth on the upper side, right? Then you will start with the the objective, right? So in objective, you okay. Okay, so in the telephone number, the number that you are mentioning in your telephone in your CV, it should be active 24/7. Or the email ID you are mentioning in your CV, it should be working properly, and you should be checking that email frequently. Once in 2 days or on a daily basis, you should be checking that, so that in case you receive any of the communication from any of the third party or employer, you should be able to reply that on the same day, right? It will give you a better you can say yeah. So for the objective, it should be very specific. Okay, so you can mention what exactly you are looking for. You can mention, people do mention that they want to build their career with the organizations, or the people mention that they want to see themselves as a professional engineer, or as a good engineer, or as a team manager, or as a leadership position, something like that. So anything you are targeting in your career, you can mention that in your career objective. Okay, so then you can start with your work experience. You can mention just a brief about the organizations. Okay, so we will start before work experience. Basically, there are two type of candidates: one who are freshers, one who are experienced holders, right? So the people who are freshers, we will start with them. So they are gonna mention their education details, the complete details, along with the passing year, the marks, the passing marks, the university or institute from where they have passed their graduation or post graduation or any sort of diploma or 10th plus 2. It should be in a chronological order, starting from highest education to the lowest education degree, right? And then for the freshers, they should be mentioning more about their industrial trainings. They should be mentioning more about their soft skills, because soft skills are extracurricular activities, because they do not have much about to say to any employer with regards to any experience or anything, right? So in case someone who is having a software training, right, so then he should mention each and everything with regards to what he or she has done into that software training. In case someone has done industrial training in any sort of organization, so then he should be mentioning what exactly any sort of project he or she has done in that manufacturing organization or any services organization. So they should mention just a crux brief of concrete brief of what exactly they have done, and they have a hands-on experience, right? So what exactly matters to a interviewer or a hiring manager? A hands-on experience. So anything you have hands on, you should mention in your CV. Okay. Okay. So then the freshers, they can mention their industrial training, their projects, their interest, any specific activity they have done in their college life or anything, right? And yeah, exactly. That's what they can mention. So then we will come up with the experienced people, right? So experienced people, they should mention the brief details about their organization, the date of joining, right? The tenure, the job type. Is it a permanent contract or what exactly it was? And in case someone is into the IT, then they should also mention that they have on a payroll of this company, but their client was XYZ and they were working for their client at XYZ location, right? And then the projects that they have done during their employment tenure, they should mention that, right? Then internships that will be covered in the education part only. Okay, so the screen that I'm currently showing is just an example how you can start with your CV and how exactly you're mentioning your details in a CV. Okay, so starting with the objective and everything, you can mention your education, like uh, the university name, right? Then the course name, right? In the passing year, right? Then the passing marks. You can mention it in any of the format, right? There's nothing to be specific about the format. You can mention it in a tabular form. You can mention it in a one-liner thing, right? So there is no specific that you have to mention your education in a same format, right? Then for the experience, you can start. Everything should be on a chronological order, to decreasing order, right? So you in education you will start with your highest education to the lowest education. In experience, you will start with your current experience, right? And then you will be mentioning your past experience. Then the at the last you will be mentioning your first experience. Okay. So let's suppose in the CV that I'm currently showing, the person has mentioned the human resources intern. Then below the name of the company, in the right side, there's a tenure June 2005 to August 2005. Then the location, pointers, basically what exactly he or she was doing there. The roles and responsibilities, you can say that. Okay, so that's how you can mention your experience. So according to the stuff you are having to mention in your CV, you will decide how much content you are gonna display or how you are gonna mention in your CV um, to make it a good looking CV, right? So in the CV that I'm currently showing, he or she has mentioned only just 3 pointers, but according to the content you have, you can mention as many as points you can, right? But just to make you all clear that you have to maintain a balance between the content which is mentioned for each and every organization. The thing shouldn't be like that you have mentioned one page for one organization and then uh, half a page for 3 or 4 organizations. Things shouldn't be like that. It should be display or it should be mentioned like a story, right? So when you are mentioning your details, or when you are creating or drafting or building a CV, you are building a story of yourself. It is very important, you can say, point that while in case you are telling a story to someone, he will be getting interested in you. Okay, you have to make that interest, you have to make that interest, so that the hiring manager or someone who is reading your CV, he will gonna read your CV completely from start to the end, he will gonna read only if it's interesting, and interest builds in a story, right? So how exactly you start with your career, how exactly you have done your education, how exactly you know the what are the roles and responsibilities you are doing in your organization. So that should be more of an important thing. Okay? So then, in the last, you can mention the activities, the extracurricular activities, or any achievements. So for experienced people, achievement is the most important thing, because once you apply to any opportunity, the recruiter or the hiring manager, he just gonna he will be more interested what exactly you have achieved while you are employed in any organization. Okay, so you have to mention as many as achievements you have done in your employment or in your education, right? Extracurricular activities, you can mention any any work for NGO, or any traveling, hiking, any specific uh, initiative you have done for someone, or some community, any community work you can mention, right? So it should be very voluntarily, right? Okay, and for the freshers, people think that they can mention the things for which they are having the certificates, school certificates and everything, or college certificates and everything. That is not important. In case you have done something, you are not having a certificate or a participation or a winning or any certificate. That is okay. That is not an issue. You should be the major thing any interviewer or any recruiter is you can say watching in an interview is a confidence. In case you are able to say it confidently, it's okay, it's completely okay, we are fine with it. People do mention the references at end of a CV, right? That is not important these days, not earlier also, right? You, in case some organizations they do ask for references, they do ask for internal or external references, so that they can tap on the people, or they can ask for your uh, feedback, right? So you can mention in case you have any references of your teachers or of your HODs, of your any physical departments HODs, or any specific HOD, or any warden or anything, right? For the freshers, they can mention something, the references of such people, or any librarian, right? So it should be come from your side. And for the experienced people, they can mention the references of their head of the department, head of any other department for which they are dealing into, or any sort of references from within the organization for which you are applying, right? So let's suppose there is someone who is applying for um, some Infosys, right? Someone who is applying for Infosys, and he have a person who is working in Infosys as a head of sales and marketing. So he can mention his or her references in his CV while applying to Infosys. That will help him. Not much, but that will help him at any point of stage. So people who can ask for the feedback from their references. Okay?
Vishal, we have few questions also in the chat section of the
Okay, I'm
meet.
just opening it. Just give me a second. Okay. We will start with the questions. Sanjay, just I need 5 minutes more. I'm just gonna show something.
Sure, sure.
We will start with the question answer. Okay. So once you created your CV, you just have to ask yourself that you have included each and everything which is required from any candidate while he or she is submitting her CV to any organization. You have to just ask a simple question from your side. In case you are completely confident that you have mentioned each and everything in that CV, that's completely fine. Just make sure that you review the JD carefully, you review the company website carefully, and then accordingly to that, you have created a CV. Okay. Uh, okay. Some useful tips you guys can go through. Just make sure that you shouldn't be mentioning anything with regards to your family details, marital status, or any personal details. You should avoid that, right? Then you should avoid the picture, right? Majorly we see that many freshers they post their picture in their CV. You should avoid that, right? The CV should be in a same font size. 11 or 12 is a basic size that we prefer, right? uh, then you should mention the soft skills that you are having. We recommend that the freshers they do mention their soft skills like the communication skills or team management skills or any team leading skills or any learning, adaptability or any sort of any specific skills that that they thought that they're having during your education. Okay. Okay, Sanjit, I'm coming back to the chat. Okay, so the first one is asked by the Amit Panthi. I'm a MS in computer science at the University of Chicago. Okay, Amit, I will say you can check out on LinkedIn or you can check out on Naukri. There are multiple opportunities these days for the machine learning or the UI opportunities, right? These days, I'm currently working on a UI role with Reliance. They are creating a design system for all the geo platforms. But for the same, they are looking out for someone who has completed his post graduation or graduation from NID, specifically from NID Ahmedabad or Bangalore, or IIT Bombay or Kanpur, right? So I'm not sure that you have completed your graduation from any of these reputed colleges. So these days there are a lot of recruitments or there are a lot of positions that are open for the UI or machine learning part. Okay, so you can go through on LinkedIn or you can go through on Naukri for the same. Okay, so next one is Yash Bakshi. Hi Yash. Yash, you can unmute your hello. Yash.
Hello.
Yeah, hi Yash. I'm
Hi.
just reading. Yeah. So you are completing your final year, right?
Yes, sir. Yes, yes. Hello.
Right. Right. Right.
Yeah. I'm completing my final year. So I was asking you this question because I don't have any experience in game development right now. Like
Okay.
formal, like I know what to do and like I've done some courses on it, but there is no experience like past projects or working on working with some company or something like that.
Yeah,
So I
that's
was
completely okay. Yes, you can put the project you have done on Java development in your CV, right? And you can put a column with the interest, right? In interest, you can mention you are more interested into the game development. You are more interested for the same to achieve a role in a game development domain. You have done these courses online from Coursera, LinkedIn, or any portal. You can mention that.
okay. Thank you.
Okay, I think there are just two questions only.
Okay, Vishal.
So
Okay, Vishal. Meanwhile, people are still thinking of their questions. I have a
yeah,
bunch of questions that actually came while people registered for this particular session.
yeah,
And one
definitely.
question that I would like to take in the very first place is to how to ask for referrals to improve the chances of landing interviews.
Okay, so okay, so these days, see, Sanjit, the major key thing that is working these days is a referral, right? So everyone should have their own network on LinkedIn or the LinkedIn only because it's the only professional network website. So everyone should have their own network on LinkedIn. They can ask to anybody on LinkedIn for giving them a reference to land a job. That is the only the platform that we are having right now. Apart from that, in case someone is having any internal reference, he or she can check with them, but uh, you know it will depend. Some people have some internal references, some people don't have their some internal reference. It will go completely depend upon their network, and network they can build on with LinkedIn, as simple.
Uh, Right, right. And along with building a network, we can anytime keep on sharing the projects that we have done, share a video of that, how we actually approach towards a problem statement. That will
uh,
eventually help us build a
right.
professional profile. In my in
Um,
my
Absolutely, Sanjay. These days, resume is just a page, one page or two page, right? What exactly gonna help you is your profile. What exactly is gonna help you is your marketing skill. That how you are marketing yourself on any professional or LinkedIn or any Facebook. So that all depends. How are you marketing yourself? That's only thing that is, you know, uh, moving
right,
right now.
right. One more thing, Vishal, which is actually trending a lot nowadays, is video resume. A lot of
Yeah.
companies have started, shifting towards that pager traditional form of resume we have, and started
Right.
shifting it to a resume which is shorted in a video form, something like that. So, what is your take on that?
Um, See, um, these days IamJobs and I think Hirest.com, they both are the major two platforms which the video interview, sorry, video CV option is available there,
Right,
right? So I would say people do create a video CV and they should upload that in that portal because that is something that will gonna help you while shortlisting because these days in case some let's suppose there is an opportunity, right, and 100 people have applied to that opportunity. According to my experience, there will be only 5 to 10 people who have created a video resume and who have submitted that in their profile, not beyond that. And in case you have done that, definitely it will gonna help you.
awesome, understood. So, guys, I've just dropped the details about giveaway. You can just go through them, and as we have mentioned in the very beginning of the session, that we have a giveaway involved. That includes resume templates, tips and tricks for GDPI, and a lot of important things that will eventually help you prepare better for these kind of interviews. So you can just copy paste this message and save it on your phone or laptop from wherever you are joining in. And yeah, we are good to go. Another question I have, Vishal, is that about the career summary which you have mentioned in the very starting of the your presentation. I agree to the point that career summary or career objective is very important. But I'm talking with respect to people who are working in, who have already been working from past 1 2 years, and now they are looking for a job domain change. Like for example, I'm working in as a developer right now. Okay, but
Okay.
later on if I switch to a business analyst role, so the job role is different. So how to actually demonstrate what you have done till now into a role which is completely different? So where is
See,
that intersection line?
see, nothing is difficult, Sanjay, right? So let's suppose someone is having a 2 years of experience in something, right? And after 2 years of experience, he found, like Yash, right? So Yash mentioned that he has experience into Java development, and now he is gonna trying for the game development, right? So he in the career summary only, or in the objective, or in whatever you can say, in the upper part of your CV, you can mention that you have hands-on experience in this domain, but you are keep looking for this domain because of XYZ, right? So Yash can mention that from start he's you know playing video games, or he's playing this or that, and while playing that he got a very very much interested into how exactly they are developing these games, and that's how he develops interest in himself, and now he's looking for something into the game development area. That's how he can you know you can say draft the content accordingly to what exactly he is looking at. So the major thing, Sanchit, is the storyline. In
Understood.
case you are able to create a storyline, you are good to go. In case your story is not appropriate, or your drafting or content is here and there, it will be difficult to get shortlisted for any
Right,
opportunity.
right. Understood. Understood. Just before this session, I was watching a couple of videos related to resume building only. And one great point I found over there is that how we can actually demonstrate our previous work and put it into picture for the company which we are joining. Like, for
Right,
example, suppose I am a developer at some company, right? And
right,
now I want to join, let's say I'm a developer at Infosys and I want to join Flipkart, right? So how I
right,
can utilize what the work I have done over there and picture it in some way, something like, which will eventually make Flipkart folks think, okay, like this profile is something that is worth it. It can be very simple applications as well, not something very complex, but yeah.
okay. Yeah, definitely. That Sanchit, you can see you can get that information from research. You
Correct.
will research what is the requirement of the next organization, what they are
Right.
looking at. Then accordingly, you will mold the things at your end, and you will mention
Absolutely.
in your CV.
Absolutely.
That's what you have to do, because in case you are not doing that, it will be very difficult to get shortlisted. So
Right.
majorly there are two things only: research and storyline.
Correct. Correct. Absolutely right.
And these days, CV is just you can say a formality, not a formality. CV will help you to get an interview, but it will not help you to get a job. Job you
Absolutely.
can only get once you have a network, right? Once you have people who can refer you, once you have your own professional profile, once you show people or show the audience what exactly you are doing, what are the projects you are doing, right? So you have to keep showcasing the people, the audience on LinkedIn or any other freelancing website or project, what exactly you are doing, so that before applying for any opportunity, the people who are gonna interview you, they already know you. That
Right.
yeah, I have seen this guy on a LinkedIn. He was doing such thing.
Right.
So
Right.
that's how you come or land on something that will
Right.
gonna help you on a bigger scale. Because
Absolutely.
then there is another thing. I will just give you a brief. We have 6 minutes left, right? So these days, the LinkedIn and Naukri are the two major portals. Okay, so LinkedIn have a very basic details that anybody can mention, but Naukri has a bigger pool. Naukri has a millions of database. So we can say that these days the 70% hiring is going through only on Naukri, and 30% hiring for a niche roles or for a very light organization is coming through LinkedIn. Okay, so for the Naukri, there are very few points that I'm going to mention here that are the while you are creating your profile, you have to choose your industry, you have to choose your functional area, you have to choose a notice period, you have to mention your education, you have to mention your experience. So each and everything you are mentioning, that should be very neat and clean according to your interest, what exactly you are gonna do as per your career, not as per your job. As per the career that you are looking for, you have to choose your details accordingly. And I would suggest each and everybody to mention your notice period as 30 days, not beyond that. In case it's 60 days, then also I would suggest to mention 30 days in a CV, because majorly all the recruitment consultancies or any companies, they are filtering, right? They put a filter at the initial stage according to the notice period, according to the education, according to the years of experience, according to the salary you are getting. So every detail we are gonna put a filter, right? And in order to make better chances to get filter through that initial screening, you can say that you have to put your details very carefully and very neat and clean. So in case someone has any question, you can ask. Hi Chintan, how are you? Hi Chintan. Chintan. I think Chintan is not there. Yeah.
Vishal, is there yeah, okay. Am I audible now?
Yeah, you are audible.
Awesome, awesome. Okay, Vishal. Nice talking to you. I have one last question, and then we are going to wrap up the session, because I think it's quite necessary to talk in this session. Is that websites we can follow to make resumes? I agree that there are tons of websites, tons of templates already available on. If you go to Microsoft Word, and maybe PowerPoint also will have. But are you in favor of making our resumes with some websites?
See, there are sample CVs that are available on Naukri, and to each and everybody, I refer that only, because Naukri, since you do not go with the any website in India. In case you are looking for something in India, right? Naukri is the biggest platform that we are having for the recruiters, for the employers, and for the employee, right? And whatever is available on Naukri, that is best we have, right? So on the Naukri we have the sample CVs, right? And on the Naukri we have a tool which is calculating a quality score of a
Mhm.
CV. So it will instantly reflect you the what are the key improvements that you have to do in your CV. So you can do that.
Awesome. Awesome. Got it.
So there is nothing to go surf or look for any website for a CV drafting. Just go to Naukri.com. There are plenty of sample CVs that are available there. Just download what exactly you are looking for, create a CV, upload the CV in that tool that is the for the quality tool, which is going to calculate the quality of your CV according to the various algorithms that they have put it on. And then you will get a brief feedback about your CV. You can update that feedback, and then accordingly you can start applying for the opportunities.
Understood. Understood. Okay. Got it. Got it. Okay, then, Vishal, it was very nice talking to you. Thank you for giving us 1 hour on a weekend, especially. It was really informative, and I really thoroughly enjoyed the session and the data you presented. Thanks a lot.
Thank you so much, Sanjit. Sanjit, I have something to share.
Sure.
Can you guide me how exactly I can share with the folks? Or I can share it across your WhatsApp number. You can share it along with the giveaways.
Sure, sure. You can just ping me on my WhatsApp number, and I will share it across with all the folks, because I have detail in the form.
Yeah, great, great, great.
Awesome.
Okay, thank you so much. Hi, Gitika. Hello.
Is there a message?
I think so. Hello.
Hello.
Yeah, hi, ma'am. How are you?
It was nice session and really informative. It will help us in our future.
Okay.
Um,
Thank you so much, ma'am.
Thank you,
Okay.
Gitika.
Thank you so much, guys.
Okay. Thank you, everyone, for joining in. Thanks a lot, Vishal.
Thank you. Bye.
Okay. Bye bye. Have a good day, everyone.